Did you know that Australia has a population of 22.7 million people? But that same country is also home to 200 million rabbits. That's 10 times more rabbits than humans. These rabbits have caused so much destruction across Australia that the government has officially declared them a catastrophic species. Australia has tried everything to get rid of them and failed every single time. But China? China has imported over 4 million rabbits in the last 30 years. Not to eat them, but to run a unique experiment in the Kubuqi Desert, and the results of that experiment have left the entire world stunned. Welcome back to another new video. When a desert expands and swallows fertile green land, turning it into more desert, that process is called desertification. And the biggest victim of desertification in China was the Kubuqi Desert. At one point, the Kubuqi Desert was expanding at a rate of 500,000 acres every single year. Every year, 500,000 acres of green, fertile land was being consumed by sand. China threw everything it had at the problem. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, multiple projects were launched. Sand control stations were built. Trees were planted across the desert. But the ocean of sand was completely out of control. Then, one day, a local entrepreneur named Wang Wenbiao changed everything. Wang invested his own money into a strange and unusual idea. He began placing dried shrubs in square-shaped patterns across hundreds of acres of desert, and between those shrubs, he started planting willow trees. The willow is a tree that can survive without regular water. Its roots travel up to 300 feet deep into the ground, searching for moisture far below the surface. The wood is valuable, used in the paper and furniture industries, but only if the tree can survive in the desert. In the Kubuqi Desert, powerful winds constantly scatter the sand, evaporating any moisture trapped beneath the surface. The shrubs placed around the willow saplings were designed to shield them from exactly those winds. At first, everyone laughed at Wang. Look at this madman planting trees in the desert. But nobody knew what Wang was truly planning. For the first 3 years, everything went smoothly, but then a new problem appeared. The willow trees now needed special care. To sell them to the paper and furniture industry, the new branches sprouting from the trees had to be trimmed regularly so the main trunk could grow thick and strong. Doing this manually in the desert was difficult and expensive, and this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. This is the exact point where the rabbits enter. Specifically, Rex rabbits. Rex rabbits are a special breed whose fur resembles the coat of an otter, incredibly soft, highly expensive, and used to make luxury clothing. But why bring rabbits into the desert? Because one small habit of theirs changed the entire ecosystem of the Kubuqi Desert forever. Rex rabbits love to eat the new, thin branches that grow from willow trees. As they kept eating those new shoots, the main trunk of each tree grew thicker and stronger, exactly what the paper industry wanted to buy at premium prices. The rabbits ate, the trees grew, the paper industry profited, environment and economy both winning at the same time. But this was just the beginning. As you already know, willow tree roots go 300 feet deep into the ground. Those roots began strengthening the structural stability of the sand around them. The result? During powerful windstorms, the sand no longer blew away, and the moisture trapped beneath the surface stopped evaporating. Then the rabbits revealed their true superpower. Rex rabbit waste, their droppings, began working as natural fertilizer. In China's zero-waste system, this became a valuable product in itself. And here's the second advantage. Rex rabbits are one of the most prolific breeders of any animal. A single female gives birth to up to 50 baby rabbits per year. As the rabbit population grew, so did the fertilizer, and the land became more and more fertile. Right before everyone's eyes, sand was turning into farmland. Organic vegetables began growing in what was once a barren desert. Rex rabbits had one more remarkable quality that played a crucial role in this transformation. They can digest grass, but they cannot digest grass seeds, which means the seeds pass through their digestive system completely intact and come out in their droppings. A short time later, those seeds began to germinate. Grass started multiplying across the desert. The rabbits had not just maintained the willow trees, they had grown grass, and their fur was being sold at high prices on top of everything else. This process became a self-sustaining cycle. The rabbits had literally begun turning the desert green. After the success of this experiment, Wang didn't stop there. He hired 100 bulldozers and began leveling the desert dunes. He filled in the hollows, flattened the ground, and planted even more willow trees across the newly leveled land. He encouraged local people to raise Rex rabbits. With help from the Chinese government, millions of Rex rabbits were imported and distributed to local families. Every household became a small farm. For 10 years, this project continued, and the entire region was transformed. There was a time when there was nothing here but sand. Today, it is a green and thriving landscape. The total area of the Kubuqi Desert spans 18,600 square kilometers. According to a United Nations report, 33% of it, or 6,250 square kilometers, has now turned green. That is the result of more than 30 years of relentless effort. Because of this transformation, the Kubuqi Desert is no longer known as the Sea of Death. It is now called an ecological marvel. But it wasn't just the environment that changed, people's lives changed completely. The Chinese government invested 3 billion yuan, approximately $400 million, into this region. New villages were built. New jobs were created right in the middle of the desert. Today, millions of acres of former desert support the livelihoods of thousands of people. Over 2,000 farms are operating. Every year, 3 million Rex rabbits are sold. The average annual income of a farmer here has reached $9,600. The people who once fled this desert are now becoming wealthy right here. According to estimates, the lives of 100,000 people have been completely transformed. When media reporters visited in 2017, they found the environment 10 times better than before. Trees, grass, animals, and people, all living in perfect rhythm together. Now a question that must be on everyone's mind. If rabbits can turn a desert green, why are they a disaster in Australia? Before 1859, Australia had absolutely no rabbits. Then a British settler released just 24 rabbits so that British hunters could come and shoot them for sport. 70 years later, the rabbit population had exploded so far out of control that nothing could stop them. In Australia, rabbits live in their natural habitat, completely free and uncontrolled. In China, they are kept in a controlled environment. They are only allowed to do exactly as much as benefits the entire system. That is why rabbits are a curse in Australia and a blessing in China. But the story of Kubuqi Desert doesn't end there, right here. The world's largest solar power image was built, known as the Junma Solar Power Plant. Spread across 6,000 acres and made up of approximately 5 million solar panels, when viewed from space, these panels form the shape of a galloping horse. According to the Guinness World Records, this is the largest solar panel image ever created on Earth. By 2022, this plant had already generated 2.3 billion kilowatts of energy. It saved China 7,600 tons of coal and reduced carbon dioxide emissions by 1.8 million tons. But if you think this power plant only generates electricity, you are completely wrong. It also fights desertification. Sunlight doesn't reach the ground beneath the panels, so evaporation slows down dramatically, allowing grass to grow underneath them. And to keep that grass trimmed, Rex rabbits have been placed there too. The rabbits eat the grass. Their droppings carry grass seeds, which grow into more grass. Desertification slows down. Free energy is produced, and the rabbit fur is sold at high prices on top of everything else. The panels have also reduced wind speeds in the area by up to 50%. Less sand is displaced, and slowly new areas of land are naturally becoming fertile on their own. If you visit the Kubuqi Desert today, you will find sheep, goats, ducks, and rabbits all living together. Grass grows under the solar panels. Willow trees stand in clusters all around. Nobody could have imagined that the Sea of Death would ever be called the Sea of Life. And it all started with the right use of one small rabbit. Today, researchers around the world are calling this model an eco-economic revolution. According to one report, 50% of the Earth's total surface area is desert, and 40% of the world's land is fighting desertification right now. Europe and America are now studying China's eco-economic revolution, trying to learn from it and apply it elsewhere. The message of the Kubuqi Desert is clear. When humans and nature work together, even the Sea of Death can be turned into a garden of life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share it generously. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments. See you in the next incredible video.